What is going on, players? And welcome back to the Director of Football Journeyman with me, FoggyPlays, on FM21. Today we're taking on LAZIO in both games against them in the Europa League. As you can see, half the games have been played with the earlier kickoff. We are kicking off at 8, so all the first games have been played. Some interesting teams have made it through, but as you can see, Sociedad absolutely slapped by Leipzig. So Sociedad away from home as well. Leipzig 5-1. I think we can officially say that Sociedad not in the next round. But Standard Liège play Spurs, which is one that I think is going to be an interesting game, as well as Lyon and Sporting. We have had our youth intake this morning, or yesterday. Sorry, Lyon literally, as we got our youth intake, stole one of our players. I'll have a look because I have his name here. Abdul Dabo has gone to Lyon, and another youth intake player that has left us, which hasn't come true yet, is Jean Lavergne, who's gone to Spurs. So that's fantastic. I'll show you the youth intake. So as you can see, they poached him earlier. Like the minute our youth intake came in, he was also poached by Leon. But as you can see, we've had a couple of interesting players here. Our new head of youth development is a perfectionist, which is pretty good. And he's gotten 2 players to come in as perfectionists. So we've a goalkeeper and this guy who doesn't look as good, who's a winger. But the 2 important players that have come in, Liam Wills is French-English, born in Angers, so he's a local boy. He is the one that looks like he could be the best player to come out of this youth intake. It's not fantastic. Physically, he's decent. Has he's 17 bravery, but does not dive into tackles. Interesting. Technically, it's pretty trash. But we also have the perfectionist goalkeeper who looks fairly decent. I think he's wasted with 16 natural fitness as a goalkeeper, but could be worse. I was not expecting anything from this youth intake because of what the preview was. It's actually not as bad as it seems. There is a huge drop off. You get past the first 5 guys, and then suddenly you're down to 2.5 star, and then straight down to 2 star, and then 1.5 star, potentially just half star. I would imagine a number of these guys are going to get signed because our under 19, no, it's still fairly small. We have a bunch of players. I would imagine we're going to get a lot of those players brought in, but we have to wait and see what happens. But you're not here to see about that. You're here to see the first games against our second knockout round, against Lazio. But since the last game, we smashed Rennes 5-1. Blugier scoring, which was fantastic. I think it was his first goal. Yeah, it was his first goal for us. Then we beat Nice 2-0. Jeppo and Calantari getting the goals for us there. Then against Nimes, we were a lot better than him. Mbe Niang played his first game. He played against Nice. Didn't he? No, he didn't. He played against Rennes. Toure missed the penalty actually in that game, in the Rennes game early on. Managed to come back and score twice. Definitely wouldn't have seen that in FM20. But against Nimes, Mbe Niang was an absolute monster. Smashed home 2 goals, as did Velu, scoring 2 goals from corners. Against Lens, we were very, very fortunate to beat them. Mbe Niang popping up with 2 more goals, which is fantastic. And then against PSG, we were so unlucky. We should have won this game. Velu mishit the ball in the 78th minute to draw level, but we were on top of this game. We had a better XG. We were the better team. Should have won. We didn't. It's disappointing. We continue on. The shots, a lot of those were long shots. But as you can see, Guilherme Henrique was having a smashing game. Pooch was having a shocker, and Velu's rating went 6.4 after his own goal. Our wingers were shocking in that game, which is fantastic. But you can see the PSG goalkeeper had an absolute whirly of time, and we kept Mbappe mostly quiet. which made a huge difference in the game, obviously, because Mbappe, one of the best players in the world. But we are going into this. They want to play balanced. I'm not going to, because we played positive against PSG, and it worked. But this is how we're lining up today. Actually, before we do that, we've had a few transfers since we were here last. Bacuna is off to Getafe in July for 5.75 million. Catalano is off to Derby County for 8.5 million. You already knew about the 3 youngsters leaving. But transfers, we haven't signed anybody. So that's not what I was bringing you to see. What we have done is Canu has gone back to Brazil. For 3.4 up, potentially up to 4.5. He wasn't getting game time, and I had no interest in really playing him. Got 5 games. Straight back to Brazil. Back to Botafogo. That is Botafogo, isn't it? It's hard to tell without the badge. I'm assuming Botafogo, he's gone. So, bye-bye Canu. It's nice having you here, I guess, while you were here. But Guilherme Henrique starts in goal for us against Lazio today. It is away in the first leg. We're going to play them at home in the second leg. We've Guga and Panzo as our wingbacks, Radljovic and Velu as our central defence, Puig and Ilic in central midfield, Kalantari and Liang as our wide men. Kalantari's been a little bit off form, so that's why moving him out to the wing. Stacey Morgan and El Bilal Toure starting as our strikers. We are short some of our more regular starters at the minute, which is not really want to say. To be fair, I can agree with Ajmal Legal. Pooch has been a bit hit or miss recently. And when I say hit or miss, I mean he's been terrible. So Ruben Loftus-Cheek is starting in this game. Musa Barrow and Jonathan David. I didn't even realise Jonathan David wasn't playing in France anymore. Probably should have noticed that. Chiro Immobile, Nathan Ake sitting on the bench. Interesting. There's a strengthy bench, strong bench. So that would lead me to believe that they have a very strong team out today. They're on 2 defeats in the last 5. I think they're top of we're unbeaten. Obviously we're unbeaten because we played PSG, we managed to get a draw. But yeah, we're second in the league. We can't finish any lower than I think it's 14th now. I should probably show you that, actually. That would make sense. So we're sitting second, 6 points clear of Monaco after 28 games. So we're doing pretty well. PSG still unbeaten this season. Thiago Almada with the corner, but Musa Barrow doesn't get there before, I'm going to assume, one of our defenders. Jonathan David, Jonathan David's enjoying himself playing against us again. This might be where we end our time as in the Europa League, but we'll keep going. We'll just see what we can do. Nothing was expected of us, to be fair. What was our defense doing there? What? I'm going to break him. That was absolutely terrible. Ilic let it bounce over his head. None of the defenders decided to go after it. And Jonathan David has 2 goals in 2 minutes. They've Yao Cancelo. Almada's picked up a bit of a boo-boo. Guga, big throw. Easy for the keeper. In the game against, I think was it Nimes? Most of our goals came from set pieces as well, which is quite interesting because we did score 5. I think 4 of them came from set pieces. But can we build from the back? We have Guga, got it to Morgan, got it to Kalantari. Gets it across, but gets cleared. And now Lazio building from the back. I don't like how they're playing the ball around us. That's just, Oleing constantly. Musa Barrow balloons that one, thankfully. If we'd gone down 3-0 after 25, I would have been really quite disappointed in us. But we're still, Guilherme Henrique doesn't need to dive like that, but he's, Guilherme, he's got a bit of flair, probably. He's Brazilian. All of my director footballs do seem to enjoy signing Brazilians with no flair. Panzo has the ball now. Penalty. Come on, referee. That was disgusting. I've seen penalties given for less. Jonathan David. We're going to have to mark Jonathan David more. Because I'm actually going to have a look and see. We are doing everything to embarrass showing onto his other foot. Right. Alright, we're going to press the keeper anyway, because it works sometimes. We're going to demand more as well, because we are not doing very well. Bar the first 12 minutes where they just seemed to demolish us, we have been involved, which is not terrible. Calantari's got it through to Morgan, and Stacey gets the goal. Calantari and Toure both have 20 goals, and then before Stacey Morgan scored there, Stacey and Nayang both had 9. So something I found interesting, that our front four are equal on goals with one of the others, which it's quite interesting. Niang has the score today, although I don't think he's going to make it to the second half. Or much further into the second half, because he has been terrible. As has Toure. So maybe I move Calantari up front and then we swap wingers around. Do I have anybody on the bench that can play left wing? Interesting question. Value back to Guilherme Henrique. This is less than ideal. Niang heads it on. Stacey Morgan gets there. Can he cross it over? He can. Toure back to net. It's 2-2 just before half time. That is going to absolutely demoralise Lazio, I hope. Or as LAZIO would say, a made up team. If we get some sort of history with Lazio, I'm going to be so annoyed, because I prefer Roma. We are going to thrash arms and say we're far from pleased, because to be fair, I'm not really happy with how that first half went. Niang, why are you struggling so much? Do we have anyone on the bench? No. I could put Stacey Morgan out there and bring on. I don't really want to bring on Fahir though. He's not. Fahir's not great. I haven't given him too many chances, to be fair to the lad, but he's not been great. Unless we swap to a 4-3-3. Go back to what we did in the first season with Angers. Guilherme Henrique, beautiful volley away. Didn't know he had that in his locker. Suppose if he had it in his locker, then he would have kept it there. Jonathan David got his. Jonathan David has a hat trick. This first leg has been messy. We've not been great. They only have 1.12 as an XG. They've scored 3. Niang gets it to Panzo. Beautiful ball forward for Toure. A little too easy for the goalkeeper. Like, Toure has a little dink in him. I don't know why he didn't do it. Illich didn't find anyone, but Pooch is there to pick it up. Kicked it straight at one of the Lazio players. Panzo, and the highlight just fades out. We are losing on possession as well. They're saying that we should take Velu off. I'm not sure why, because it doesn't look like he's injured. He's not that tired. Yeah, we're going to have to take Niang off, because Niang has been just terrible. Mbe Niang, you're coming off 4. Yeah, we're bringing on Balougier. It's just Velu is just not playing well. I'm not bringing on. What was it? They're telling me to bring on Casas. I'm not bringing on a wing back at centre back. Guga gets it to Calantari to Pooch. Guga, furthest forward player on the right. Stacey Morgan to Ricky Pooch. I almost called him Alberto. Niang, last touch of the ball, gets it across. It's shocking cross. And now Lazio back on the attack. If we, Chiro Immobile is on. He must be about 100 at this stage. Jonathan David's through, and it's 4. Jonathan David has been quite good, has to be said. Jonathan David having a bit of a whale of a time. We're going to break the players, because that's really not good enough. Panzo throws it to Illich. Completely wasted attack. Back to Guga. Pooch. Can he get it across? No. Sort of. Can he? It does. Eventually, Calantari hits one of the defenders. It is time to make a change. Illich is playing terribly. We're going to bring on Lulic. Panzo's not playing well. Velu's not playing well. But I feel like our strike force is struggling more. We could actually hear me out, okay? We could, if I make you advanced playmaker and put Pooch there, then make you Mazzella. Actually, Mazzella on support rather than attack. We take off value because he's playing terribly. It has to be said. Value, shocking. Panzo gets a forward to Belgium. We are eventually going swapping to the 4-3-3 like I promised. I can't believe Ruben Loftus-Cheek is playing against us. It seems to be playing fairly decently. Pooch, I know he's a short boy, but come on. Panzo has been quite good defensively for us today. Pooch smashes it off one of the Lazio defenders, or one of the midfielders, and Jonathan David almost scored his 5th against us. It's been Jonathan David versus Angers. We are not very attacking, Jesus Christ. We are going to fire the players up. It's not done anything. It's pressured a couple of our players. I think it was the strikers got pressured. Guga. Just Jonathan David is literally doing everything. He's doing the defensive work. He's scoring all the goals. Belugier, what are you doing over on the left, on the right? Torre just puts it wide. This is going to be quite the lengthy episode, I would imagine. So I hope you're strapped in. Jonathan David, 9.7 after scoring 4 goals. Interesting. Calantari. What's he going to do with it? Can he score, please? For the love of Jesus, no. Who was that? Easy save for him. Okay. Thrash my arms. I'm far from pleased. Borussia Mönchengladbach lost to Genk. Tottenham lost to Standard. What? Right, we will be back in a second for the second leg. I don't want to make this episode any more longer than it needs to be. So we will be back for that in just a second. Right, fellas, it's the second leg against Lazio. Now, we have had a game in between. We played against Reims. Looks a comfortable game. It was not. We beat them 3-0, but only because we scored 2 goals in added time. 94th to 95th minute, we scored our second and third goals. They were very good defensively, but we came out on top, thankfully. So for this one, we know we have to win the game. We are going to just go attacking because we're 2 down, but we have 2 goals from the first leg, which are away goals, which are definitely going to be helpful for us. Cho not showing his 5-star potential anymore. Do I start him or do we go? Yeah, no, we're going to start him. So we're starting with a fairly similar team to last time. I think Casas moves over to the left. Guga comes in on the right. Panzo drops out because it wasn't great in the last one. Illich scored an absolute screamer in the last one, so I think he's coming in. Or do you start the last one? I don't remember. Cho starts on the right. Stacey Morgan drops to the bench. If I have the team remembered correctly. Probably don't. But still, we're going into this game knowing that 2-0 is what we need. So we're going to thrash our arms. And I'm going to say I expect a win today. Because to be fair, I do. Calantari is demotivated. That is not what I expected. We've managed to motivate him by pumping our fists and saying that we believe in him. Footballers will believe anything you say. So we're going to encourage the lads right at the start. We have had the draw for the quarters and semi-finals, but we're not going to worry about that until we know if we get there or not. And as it stands right now, we are not. So I think Lazio, to be fair, we should have, although Atalanta have not been the most amazing Serie A team. I was hoping, Illich just scored some absolute screamers from the keeper clearing free throw-ins recently. Tonali manages to get the ball clear. Illich picks it up. And a beautiful tackle by Vindal. And the corner comes to nothing, but Guga has another throw, gets a forward. Kalantari gets headed away, and Pooch gets beaten to the ball by Holzek, who has decided to turn and burn. Moves a barrow. Thankfully, he's put it wide. To be fair, I think Lazio are playing with, 3 strikers, just not playing in striker positions. They're playing with a striker up front, striker on the left, and a striker through the middle. I'm going to berate the lads because we really need to win this game. Jonathan David and Musa Barrow both playing on the left wing right now. Interesting tactic. It seems to be working for them, so I can't really say anything. Thankfully, Brun Larson puts that one wide. Cho is having a mare of a game. Oh, we're going to get beaten by Lazio. Ilic, for some reason, is quite deep. Kazas gets it to Niang. Ilic gets sort of dispossessed, but not really. Ilic gets it to Pooch. Cho takes a shot, but it gets to Guga. Whips it across, and Toure and Kalantari both take a shot. Both of which end up in the keeper's hands. This is not going well. We're going to the dressing room. We are going to throw a water bottle because I am very unhappy. Our wingers are playing terribly again. What is going on? Ilic, Radlovic, I believe in you. Okay, so we've motivated everybody now. We're going to instantly berate them. Guga tries to get it into the box, doesn't really. And then Holzek and Jonathan David are clear. Holzek, thankfully, kicks it straight to Guilherme Henrique. Keeper manages to keep a hold of it. Ishmael Casas with throw. Again, can't find one of our players. Veliu boots it clear. Niang picks it up. Gets it across. Kalantari shot gets blocked. The Lazio defence are playing like their life depends on it. Maybe it does. I don't know. Veliu. Okay. We got one back. Now we just need to score a bunch more. Alright, so 53 minutes in. We scored from a throw. Ilic to take the corner. Gets it across. It's headed clear by Ruben Loftus-Cheek of all people. And Holzek has just walked past our defence. And Guilherme doesn't do enough. Fantastic. Right. Cho, you're coming off. You're playing terribly. We're going to bring on Beluge. We're going to go 4-3-3. Because we have nothing else to lose. We're just going to go all out, all crazy attack. Ilic and Beluge are going to go invert our Mazzellas on attack. Guga and Casas are going to go complete wingbacks. And we're going to go 3 complete forwards. Because why not? Niang is going to come off for Stacey Morgan as well. Yeah, why not? That's what we're going to do. Go slightly more direct, I guess. Run at the defence, be more expressive. Play with a higher line, get stuck in. Use offside trap. Confirm those changes, and we're going to. It's just. It's not what I didn't expect to do well against Lazio, but I would have expected more. I'm disappointed. More than anything. I'm just disappointed. They want us to take off Veliu. He's not playing terribly. Toure is not having a great game, so I might just swap him and Stacey Morgan around. Put him through the middle. What have I got on the bench that could make any bit of a difference? De Silva on for Pooch, I guess, and then swap Ilic and Pooch, or De Silva. And that is literally everything we have now. Pooch to Ilic, back to Pooch. Not a great cross ball, but we've kept a hold of it. Radlovic gets it back to Guilherme Henrique. Gets it to Casas, Veliu. Like, if we qualify... Oh my god, Veliu. Ciro Immobile shot. Thankfully hits the crossbar. If we do qualify for the Champions League next season, we are in so much trouble. Although qualifying for the Champions League could be the thing that gets me a better job. We do need to score 3 more goals, by the way. In case you're, not watching but listening, we have 3 minutes to score 3 goals just to bring it to extra time. So I'm going to say it's not going to happen. Brun Larson puts it high and wide. And the game is just going to peter out into nothing. Nothing. We lost 2-1 and 4-2 against Lazio. I'm going to thrash my arms and say, far from pleased. Because we were terrible. We were properly terrible in that game. Borussia Mönchengladbach came back and beat Genk. Lyon ended up winning their game, and Tottenham knock out Standard Liège. Yeah, we didn't really deserve anything from that game. To be fair, we were toothless. AZ have knocked out AC Milan. Borussia Dortmund do the business against Dinamo Kiev, which you would expect. To be fair, still, we weren't expected to be competitive. We managed to make it into the second knockout round. Did get a bye in the first knockout round, but still, the important thing is we did stuff. The next episode, we probably come back for like maybe Lorient, Marseille, or Marseille Metz. Probably Marseille Metz, and then we might just come back for Brest, depending on how the league is going, because we are sitting pretty in second, 6 points ahead of Monaco. Yeah, 6 points ahead of Monaco, and can't finish any lower than 12th. Yeah, can't finish any lower than 12th. So those will be the next two games. Marseille, because they're in decent form. Metz, who are 20th. When did that happen? When did Le Havre jump ahead of them? Relegation zone is crazy. But yeah, we will be back in the next episode for those 2 matches. If you have enjoyed this one, please do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!